It's alright. It's alright. Come on. It's my life. It's your life. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. You got to make a decision.
Welcome to the Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast. You're now rocking with Raz, man, like we do every night, 7:30, 8:30. Hollatics Live, me plus you. No bars or stars here, man. Just me, you, and the decisions we have to make. Now, check this out. Hollatics, y'all check in. Y'all know how we do this every night, but I have no idea what to even call myself, bro. I'm just so elated. Tonight, I got one of my old college buddies. Now, if you live in Houston, you might have been driving down 610, and you say, man, this guy here, he looks familiar. Either I seen his sign on the face, or he looks like one of them Miguel guys that's running out of my house after sleeping with my wife. But it is Ivan Sanchez, y'all.
What's up, man?
Oh, man. Oh, now Ivan is an old college buddy of mine.
College drinking buddies too, man. But I remember in our political science classes about almost 8 years ago, man, I walked in the political science classes all Ed Hardy out with bedazzled and my spiky hair or side spiky hair. We didn't know what we're gonna do, and here we are, man. A couple of years later,
bro. I mean, you know.
Thing.
I always been creeping around in the background, man. but I mean, Ivan has been making big moves. Again, if you live in Houston, man, you might and you know, you might heard of the group, the Millennials group, or you might have seen some Sheila Jackson Lee propaganda, and you looked up and you saw this guy here with his shades on, driving around looking like a Secret Service agent, but
or holding her purse,
her purse, you know.
And I would go in the inner circles, and that was what a $1 billion experience. Whenever you want to talk about that, man, I'll never throw the congresswoman under the bus. I will say, man, it's one of the hardest people. Like every single day, I would be like, "Why am I here again?"
Oh man, hey, listen, this is what we gonna do though. This is what we gonna do. I am going to Hollatics, y'all check in tonight. We got Ivan Sanchez, man. I don't even know what to call him. He's everything from a college buddy of mine to nominee for representative for Texas to businessman. I don't know what. Ivan, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to the world, man.
All right, man. First of all, dude, it is so good to see you. You've been behind the scenes, man, but we took political science classes together to see you all the way doing this show, Political Science 2.0. Looks like we leveled up, and that's the way we have to go, especially in our age group. The biggest transfer of money and power is literally happening right now.
Y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it here.
So having you, man, talk your mind, speaking truth to power with a different generation that has a different mindset than anybody else has come before. We're ready to do the damn thing. And, you know, like you said, I have ran for Congress. Well, let me actually formally introduce myself. My name is Ivan Sanchez. Right now, I am a commercial realtor, a commercial real estate lender, a commercial real estate investor with Gold Quest Group and Samore Investments. What we do, we're a full license, full service, residential, commercial, and heavy industrial direct lender, broker, and syndications firm. But that's what I'm currently doing right now. So if you want to know about money, flipping houses or whatnot, man, we can talk about this. No wonder the richer get richer. If you know how to work that money, if you have your money work for you, it's insane what I've been learning in finance. That's where I work now. But we're here for the meat and potatoes of what's going on in our community. Before I did this, I was running in the 7th Congressional District of Texas, which is the richest district in the nation. Never has a Latino or person of color ran in this district. This was the district of George H.W. Bush before he became president. Back then was 90% Anglo. Now it's 65% minority. When I saw 6 Anglos running, and as political scientists, I knew, oh, they do that to our districts.
Yeah.
Let me split their vote.
Yeah.
That plus the political pendulum swing that president's doing, Beto, the straight ticket voting and the Beto hype. We were this close on winning, but we got other elections like Dylan Osborne as our treasurer for Harris County, Lina Hidalgo, all these amazing things. So I risked it all, ran for Congress. I didn't fail. I learned.
That's right.
But besides that, I did work with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee for 6 years, in which I owned that woman a tuition of $1 billion.
I get
Now,
you.
I know she's very polarizing, as in you either love her or you hate her. But let me tell you something. No one works as hard as that woman. I am talking about, I picked her up once at 7 in the morning and we did 14 events in one day. 14.
Yeah.
And we ate on the way, like all these, whatever finger food there was.
Yeah.
But I'm also president and founder of Houston Millennials, an organization that promotes millennial advancement in the public, private, and nonprofit sector. This organization is run by 6 committees, in which can be joinable by any millennial in Houston, and to bring a vision to our committees and make events happen. For example, we got civic engagement. We did the mayoral debate, or we did Millennials for Office 101, where we ran 36 people for office. We got the business committee. We got community outreach. We're feeding the homeless every month. We got communications. We got networking organization, which has the party organization, or the fun committee, what they call it. We bring 1,000 people to the Hilton rooftop. You should join us. But besides that, man, what has me all fired up, I never thought in a billion years I would have been a political scientist or anything like that. But I remember in one of my classes, man, it was Hispanic politics, and I was a little bit more conservative back then, believe it or not. And I came in this class and I was like, look, everybody's equal now. This is the mentality of a high school graduate, right? It's like, everybody's equal now. Don't come up to me and talking about Latinos, this and that. No. But man, I sat in the front of that class and I felt like I was being slapped every single day with knowledge.
I hear you.
For example, we're 44% of the population, but only 4.33% of local electoral officials. We're less than 1% of the business leaders and less than 0.75% of nonprofit leaders here in Houston.
Yeah.
And then you learn about private prisons. We're 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prisoners. I'm like, look at here. I'm an immigrant.
Yeah.
I came here for liberty, justice. I mean, all these different things that are so crazy that are happening in society. So I'm sorry if I'm kind of like a very passionate.
Nah, man. Hey, listen. Let me tell you this, Ivan. And when I birthed my show, Hollatics, because of my background, I come from an entertainment background, music background.
Yeah.
People thought that the podcast would be entertainment center, but I didn't want to do that, and people didn't know about my secret life. Politics, right? I'm running around doing politics. Me and you running around at night events sometimes, in our early years. People didn't know that about me. So when I started doing the podcast, I said, I want to do something with this freaking degree I got, right? So I said, I want to do something with the degree, but at the same time, I wanted to talk about politics and make it simple. And so what you telling people is what I just been stressing, man, since my show started. When you look at the political world and then you open your eyes again to society, you see how much the two entanglement. And I remember the professors used to tell us this in school. They used to say, man, it's easy to punk your legislator. Meaning if me and you see a pothole in the ground, we can get 100 people to sign a petition and sit that joker on our legislative desk, and he got to move to it. So I didn't know how easy society and politics connect.
Man, but it's the disconnect is that it feels like politicians are so elite, they're not in touch with the community.
Amen.
And it's called political efficacy, right? What you think as an individual, how you can affect the government. And the community's political efficacy is very low because a lot of politicians, like I just posted last night on my Facebook, we had to kick all the MFs that are doing this job for money.
Right.
I mean, and there's just so many other things. And so it's just very stressing about how does a common person that has 3 kids,
Yeah.
2 jobs,
Yeah.
goes to church, and does so much for their family? When do they have time to worry about these clowns in a suit and tie, these
Right.
empty suits a lot of the time? I mean, it's difficult, right?
Right.
And sometimes I'm not even gonna lie, man. Like I got everybody's number in my phone. I got the mayors, the sheriffs, the police chief. It's not even about that. But sometimes, even as an individual, by the way, I had no shortcut in this game. I sacrificed my youth.
Yeah.
But it's so hard sometimes, man.
Yeah. No, I see it. I see it. I see it.
But
I
I'm telling
see
you, when we organize, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing a great job. It's so much in your introduction, man. We're gonna peel back. We got the next 45 minutes to do so. If you're just tuning in, it's the Holla-tics Live Interactive Podcast. Tonight, I have a college buddy of mine. I'm sorry I ain't have his little marquee up there. It should say Ivan Sanchez. I wanted to say Ivan the Great, but I know he wasn't gonna let me do that, man. You know?
At least it's not Ivan the Terrible.
Yeah, Ivan the Terrible, huh?
Yeah,
Let's backtrack, man. Let's backtrack. Okay. How in the heck did you become an executive assistant for Sheila Jackson Lee?
There's a saying that says your network equals your net worth.
Right.
So I mean that's a long road, but I'm gonna try to chop it up as much as I can. So I'm an immigrant from Colombia. My mother was an attorney, a prosecutor attorney, and my father was a geophysicist in Colombia in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever heard of Pablo Escobar, it's not a positive story again about him. Basically, my mother's office was blown up. My dad was kidnapped 4 times, man. And there's a note that came to my mom's office. I was only 6 years old, so I can't verify that. But apparently that's the story. That said, next time you put your kids in the school bus, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
And my mom, man, a Latina mama said, not with my family, right? So immediately, unfortunately, a divorce happened between my mom and dad at the time. So she was a single woman with 3 kids, man. And I was promised to see, Disney World, Bill Clinton, and all I heard was Monica Lewinsky too. I didn't even know what he meant. I was PG-13 back then, or PG less than that.
Yeah.
But I saw a woman struggle, man. She was a respected attorney to not even be hired by pizza. I'd seen her cry a lot, being in this little shack eating rice and beans every single day, which I love rice and beans right now. I don't mind this. I'll eat some right now.
Hey, where you from, by the way?
I'm Colombia, Bogota.
There you go.
Yeah, Bogota, Colombia. So we moved to Texas when she enrolled in the University of Texas School of Law. She graduated. She became she founded this company where I work at right now. It's a real estate company. She was the president of this, wrote 3 books, was so amazing. And this is when I was about 17, 18 years old. I was a nightclub promoter. I started liking socializing and trying to understand what actually influences people back then. But it was nothing like now, right?
Right.
And then, bam! 2 months after my high school graduation, my mom passes away. To time where I had to find myself again or reinvent myself. It was the most bittersweet part of my life. It was all bitter back then, but now that I've matured, I see it as a little bit bittersweet. Though I lost my superwoman, I unconsciously vouched myself that I wanted to be half of the person that she was. And that's when I enrolled at the University of Houston downtown and met my boy Rose. What's up?
I hear you, man. I hear you.
I had spiky hair, man. I had just like
bro, you
like a Latino or black youth, right? Like we're trying to fit in. We're trying to get girls. We're trying to just
let me brag on you a second.
No.
Now when we was walking hallways of UHD, some people, you see all kinds of characters in college, y'all. You see the little nerd guy that's gonna later on become Bill Gates. You see the jock over here. You see, the person over here that's gonna later on become an actor. Ivan was one of them people that you didn't know what, but you knew he was something. I'm like, man, this guy gonna be somebody. And again, I'm a kid from the hood. I am from Trinity Garden, Houston, Texas. So I'm like, okay, Colombian guy, Ivan did a few events, and then he had a whole lot of support, a lot of family support. And I'm like, I have never seen this before, man. I got to kind of stick around this guy to see how it go. But, once we graduated, stuff started moving fast, and phone calls and meetings started happening. And, I got took off. And before you know it, I seen him like riding around with Sheila Jackson Lee in his car. And I'm like,
that, man, it's interesting. It's really is. I wanna share that little story with your audience because it's vital. So she passed away, and I had this tall blonde girlfriend, man. She was like, if you don't spike up your hair no more, I'm gonna break up with you. What are you doing? And I was just so passionate about my first passion was trying to be like my mama. We broke up, man. It took me 7 years, by the way, to graduate out of UHD, 4-year degree. But then I said, what's the best way to go to law school? It's like political science. I was like, all right, let's see what's political science. I went to political science, and I was just like, man, like I said in the introduction, I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
We are behind as hell.
Yep.
Like, what is going on with the United States? Like,
right.
The world is flocking over here for the slogans that we pride ourselves in. Yet, like I said, look at how many black and brown boys are in the private prison pipeline, from cradle to prison pipeline. And
I tell the people something, man. You just tuning in. It's the Holla-tics Live. What's up, Gabe, Mike, Alex Wolf, all my Holla-tics are tuning in, man. Let me tell you something. If you in Texas, it's even worse, because if you're into politics, you will realize that Texas is one of them deep red states. Yet when you get into the inside of the state, you see that a lot of Democrats, the blues run the cities, but the red run the state. And so what has happened is they created a padding, right? That it almost feels like freedom, but it's not. And that's what Ivan is telling you. When you dig past the streets, or you dig past street level conversations, which is what we have, you'll see that the high ups, they don't look like me and Ivan. They don't look like you. They look like Caucasian rich white people, and that's who run Texas.
And we're not saying that the white Caucasian man is the enemy. It's just, look, I learned something back in the day, man, and the power is taken, never given. So we're waiting here for somebody to give us some congressional seats or anything like that. It's not gonna happen.
Nah.
Power is taken, never given.
Right. And at one point in time, the representatives represented the people. But of course, what Ivan is saying now is what he's explaining. We look different. The world look different now. The country look different. So we need representation that looks more like us. So that is what I wanted to piggyback on you, just in case people, because everybody is not politically astute like we are. And so they may be like, what is he saying? What is he saying? He's saying that the people that represent us don't represent us. And we have to change that. We cannot wait for somebody to come and say, hey man, take this seat here, or take this. I want you to sit here as mayor, and I want you to sit. Go for it.
Even when they do, we still lose it. For example, District J in Houston, Southwest area, which is Sharpstown area, in 2010 was created by Mayor Anise Parker.
Right.
She wanted to throw a bone to Latinos. Say, God damn, there's 16 council members, one Latino. Here y'all have District J, which is 89% Latino. Guess what happened? Eight Latinos ran. They split the vote. One Anglo, Mike Lassiter, ran too. He picked up 2,000 votes and picked it in a bag.
Now, I tell people this all the time, though, Ivan. If Democrats voted all the time, Republicans would never win.
Oh, we're the majority.
There you go. But
we're the super majority, actually. It's just
Republicans have better voting records. So
the Republicans know that their vote is actually going to be tallied and counted for. While Democrats, a lot of grassroots community, I wouldn't even call them Democrats. They would lean Democrats if they see what we stand for. But like I said in earlier in the show, people have full lives, man. People have kids, jobs, hobbies, and all these things. It's so difficult to get involved. Even as political scientists, like you and I went 4-year degree just to learn about this executive and the legislative and
I've been freezing up, y'all. Little technical difficulties there. But anyway, you're just tuning in to the Holla-tics Live Interactive Podcast. I am Raz. Small technical difficulties with my guest, Ivan Sanchez. So happy to have him on the show, actually. Again, if you drive through Houston, Ivan is plastered in places in the Heights. You back, Ivan?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, it's camera, man. It's these 1080s, and then we stream to 720.
That's nice.
So yeah, so your camera's kind of but that's Ivan, y'all. If you're tuning in, I appreciate it, Ben. Ben just told me happy. Ivan, you ain't know today's my birthday, huh?
What, bro? What?
Yeah, bro.
How old are you, man? How young are you?
I'm 48, man.
48, bro. I thought you were like 36, man, like me.
I know you never knew my real age. I know you did.
Hey, just number. That's how I did it, man.
Yeah. Of course, we young men, bro.
Dude, so imagine a little kid that was a nightclub promoter getting into Congress. On to the next thing. Right. I remember joining the Pre-Law Association, and I saw some kids called the SGAs, Student Government Association. I'm like, what y'all do? Like, we represent 14,000 students here. I'm like, oh, okay. And I had no idea, man, of the power of influence, like what you can do. Even if at a student level, the Student Government Association, they had impact. Right. So I ran for Senate there. And then when my entire passion came out was when I ran for student body president. I'm not sure if you remember where I quit my mortgage job at the time. I had an internship at Jolanda Jones' office, which shout out to Jolanda Jones. She gave me an opportunity and gave my foot in the door. I ran for the student president, man. And it was just, I've never had that much passion going to one project. Because like the first time, it was like, I'm thinking as myself, as a community person that worked at the Diva selling chocolates, pushing shopping carts at Kroger, doing what? Like, it was just a time to not only prove to myself, to my family, to the community, but I didn't just count the days. I made every single day count. I found Walk to Vote, this massive, where I brought my my nightclub experience and politics together. I thought about socioeconomic status, how voting probability for young people. What is I'm sure you remember SES, socioeconomic status, and how to calculate the voting probability based on age, income, and education. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm a minority, I'm young, and I'm cool.
Right.
When 3 years ago, why didn't I vote? It's lame as hell. And my vote don't count. Ain't nobody gonna call out for me. Ain't nobody gonna represent me, right? That's what I thought back in the day.
Right.
And so I remember I was interning at the same time at Jolanda Jones, and so there was this new chief of staff for Jolanda Jones. And, I'm trying to get brownie points, man. I'm over here with the same suit, all like dirty in the sides or whatnot. And I overhear her saying like, oh, my car broke down or whatnot. This ties it all up, man. This is how I got it. And she's like, my car just broke down. And I was an intern making coffee, taking staples out. I was like a little penguin and stuff running around. And I hear it and I go into it. It's like, what's the problem? And she's like, well, my car broke down. I'm trying to get a rental. I was like, if you excuse me for 2 hours, ma'am, I can help you. Bro, I left. I rented this woman a car. I remember it was in automatic windows. I pulled up. I was like,
Yeah.
It's not automatic windows, but I got you a
Yeah.
car. And then
Yeah.
after that, I was elected into president. And then right before my high school graduation, bro, I had my high school graduation, my college graduation, I had 7 job offers
Wow. Wow. I remember that.
in New Jersey, all these different things. And then the lowest paying one by far, which with the most rigorous amounts of hours, offers me a job, which was in the office of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And guess
Right.
how I got that? That chief of staff that for Jolanda Jones, when she
Yeah.
got hired at Sheila Jackson Lee's office, she said, "I don't want to start this job unless Ivan comes with me."
Wow. Wow.
And
Let me tell you a secret. Let me
it was
tell you a
that one
secret.
favor I did. I
Bro,
hope it was that. I don't know what it was, but it was amazing, bro. I cried for 3 days, bro. I remember I had an ex-girlfriend back in the day. I don't get a lot of girlfriends. Just I know I've talked about some stuff, but I remember she was there, and I was just crying, bro. Because I'm sorry to talk like this, but I just thought, as an unempowered youth, I was like, man, what is a little beaner like me doing in the halls of Congress? Like, I could not believe that a 24, 25-year-old was now Immigration International Council Relations Officer for a senior member of Congress. And even though I started at $23,000 a year, bro, in which that's one of my paychecks now, I just remember every single day, dude, every single day, even though if I was carrying the Congresswoman's purse, bro, I would do it with pride. One day I'll be in a room with Hillary Clinton. I'll be like, let me take a picture. Yao Ming, Obama, all these different things. But I was quietly being mentored as well. Because if you heard of Sheila, it's not easy.
let
And
me
she
tell you
told me
something.
one time-
Let
told
me
me one
stop
time,
you right there. Let me stop you right there. I met Sheila at an event Jay Prince was throwing at his gym. And man, I seen it. I'm like, this Sheila Jackson Lee. I'm meeting her in the hood. I got a shot. So I exchanged numbers. Sheila was very gracious. Smiled, took pictures with me. But that was close as I ever got, bro. I couldn't, and everybody want, when you coming out of school with the poli-sci degree and you gunning for law school and you take a love to politics, everybody want that. You want to be an aide for a congressional member, bro. And so I realized the value in what you and what you had, what you got in your hands, man. And
I was doing mortgages before that. I had so much money, job offers, right? But one thing I did learn in political science is that people our age or like 27 years young think about the immediate gratification instead of the long-term educational process.
right.
For example, we want the better rims, we want the better looking girl, we want the freaking bigger paycheck, we want the bigger TVs or whatnot. So we decide to go for that, leaving a disastrous experience or could have been, should have
Yeah.
been family. I'm very privileged. In the
Yeah.
sense of, go ahead.
Honestly, I don't believe it's for everybody though. I think it's certain people. I don't think everybody are leaders. I think certain people are not going to see some of the stuff we see because it's not their place, man.
And it's totally fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a I mean, you gotta learn, you gotta know how to follow before you lead, but it's totally fine. Actually, leadership is a sacrifice as well. You
Right.
have to make sure that your team's health is basically healthier than you. You have to paint a picture of what it is, and you can't tell people what to do. You have to lead by example, right?
Right. That's
And
right.
this means sacrifices, rigorous hours, talking to people all the time. It's not easy. And sometimes after I lost my congressional race and I was a little down, I was just like, man, like I'm out of all this. Let me just
Make some money, huh?
go back in the day. But I chose that, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes even myself, I'm like, man, that's just a lot. People don't know that. For example, when I was Sheila, I was surrounded by thousands, dude. And then you come home and then you don't know who to call. You're like, man, like, I felt lonely, bro.
Right. I get
Felt
it,
really
bro.
lonely.
I get it.
Uh,
I get it.
so it isn't for everybody, but those who choose it, thank you for your courage, especially people our age right now. You
Right.
know, I feel like our generation was minimized as much as possible. You know, millennials are entitled and lack of experience and all this, but what we lack in experience, we make up in drive and ideas. So
The world is gonna change, man, and it has. On the show we talk about business a lot, and I heard listening to some business news, I heard people was talking about, which you know well, home sales. That's millennials are buying homes, and normally when you get home buyers, that is the stability of America's economy, and those are young people buying homes. So the world is theirs now. You know, some of the older people are seeing yesterday, and the new world is looking at you. They looking at what's going on with school teaching and Zoom and the internet. This is the new world, man. You
it
know,
is.
this is and
It is.
let me do
It
this
is.
drop. If you just tuning in for the audio, this is the Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast. I am Raz, your host, chief politician, narrator, orator, and tonight we have none other than Ivan Sanchez, man. Happy to be talking. Ivan is an ex-college buddy. He is
Drinking
executive
buddies.
aide. He say drinking buddies. uh Sheila Jackson Lee. He's an ex-aide, Sheila Jackson Lee, businessman, a real estate businessman, also the founder of Houston Millennials. Today is my birthday, and I'm happy. I've been chasing Ivan for about 2 weeks, man. I've been like, Ivan, you got to come on the show, man. You got to come on the show. And he said, what about today, Raz? I'm like, excellent. My birthday, let's go.
Pops, you cut off. I'm not sure if it. I didn't hear that. You cut off.
Okay. Yeah, nah, we
Yeah,
good. Can you hear me
the
now?
vibe there, man, but dang, internet cut off.
Yeah. You've been having some on and off technical difficulties, but it's all good. Hollatics, y'all weigh in. If y'all got any questions for Ivan, man, y'all put them on the floor. So we kind of going through Ivan's history. Ivan was the president of the student body when I was back in college. Again, I knew something was on the dude. I'm like, this dude is gonna be somebody. Again, I look up after I graduated. I graduated a couple years before I look up. Ivan is like riding in the car with Sheila Jackson Lee, taking pictures with the mayor, shaking hands with Hillary Clinton. I'm like, golly, I didn't know he was gonna do this fast.
And
But
no, I didn't either, man.
it's meant for you though, bro. It's meant for you. Let me say that, man.
Gratification instead of the long-term educational process.
Mm-hmm.
So just sacrifice 5-6 years, do the hard work first, and then chill.
Right.
And then reap the benefits, man. So
you know what though? You know what, Ivan? I think our generation needs you or people like me or people our age or the leaders of this generation to be able to tell them that. Because when we hear from older people, it sounds like it's whining. It sounds like it's bitter. It's bitterness, or it sounds like cliche.
Yeah. It's like how many events?
Yeah.
They call me an insider and all these things. I'm just a regular dude, man. But how many speeches have I seen as a young minority person under Sheila? How many politicians did I actually see preaching, bro, from the podium about youth empowerment?
Yeah.
On the face.
Yeah.
It's just how are other people going to feel like, you know what? At the end of the day, power is taken, never given. That's why I found Houston Millennials. Let's run for office. 36 people who ran for office in 2018. 2021, we're going to run some more. 2022, we're going to do some more. You're interested in business? We got the business committee. You want to write business plans? You want to network with that? I mean, it's literally all aspects in our life right now. There's a transition of power. So get on it.
Let me ask you this, man. How do people become a part of Houston Millennials if they live in Houston, man? They need to know.
So there's different levels of memberships, but right now, if you go to Facebook, go to under search, go to just type Houston Millennials, And there is 2 pages. There's a like page, which is our front, right? That's where we post memes and our pictures and empower about 5,000 members. You have to fill out 3 questions. What do you want to do in your life? It's very empowering things, right? Just kind of get to know you. They fill out those 3 questions, and you're a general member. That's pretty much it. Join the Houston Millennials group page, and you'll be a Houston Millennials member, in which we host a lot of events. We used to host sometimes 2 events per month, and that would be popping, dude. Especially like our we feel like we've been nickel and dimed everywhere, right? So for networking, we would bring like 1,500 people to our events, dude. And all I did is use the experience as a nightclub promoter, and my professional experiences being an addict to networking and knowing how to shape events and knowing the role of 3 of organizing all these things. I said, first of all, I got to be cool. It ain't no just networking. It's Millennials After Dark professional networking at the Hilton roof.
Yeah. You gotta add all the extra stuff to it.
Or you taking pictures, all these different little cool things. So I think we're gonna host another one January the 14th, 2021. But
I was about to ask you that. Because I haven't been to an event yet, bro.
Man, you're gonna be VIP next time, and your audience too.
Come on with it, bro. Come on with it. Hey, bro, listen. And we ain't done yet. We still got another 20 minutes, man. If y'all got any questions for Ivan, hold up. I got Steven 7 Grogan, my man 7 Grogan, Holla-tics weighing in. He say, I wouldn't run for office, but the things I say and the truth I spit will get I will get assassinated quickly. I got 3 kids.
What's homeboy's name? What's homeboy's name?
His name's 7 Grogan, man. 7 is one of my Holla-tics.
7?
Yeah, he tunes in every night, bro, and he come in with really controversial stuff, but it be a lot of wisdom behind it.
Let me tell you, man, shoot me a message. I'll send you over 1,000 death threats that I got. Imagine my immigrant ass going on Fox National.
I remember that. I remember that, bro. I gotta ask you about that, bro. The Fox experience, bro. Tell me about that, because I feel like they prejudice. Or they come on, man. I need you to tell me the truth, bro.
Which one? About what? About
Fox Network, bro.
Dude. So, man, I'll tell you the truth. Let me spill the beans, because that interview, if you go Google it, bro, Ivan Sanchez, Fox News, I seem like lost. Like, what the hell's going on here? So I'm like a month away from my congressional election day, and they call me up, and they're like, "Hey, we want to book you, blah blah blah. We're gonna talk about these 3 subjects tomorrow." It was about George H.W. Bush immigration plan and 2 other subjects, bro. Next day, I took off the entire day to study the subjects. Yeah, I'm ready. I got my talking points. I got like fire pumping. We start the show, bro. Fox, if you see the interview, they take me for a surprise. They're like, "So, Ivan, do you also believe, like Linda Couture, that this country was founded on the mass murder of people?" And I'm just like,
bro, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
My mentors called me after that. They were like, "You should have, damn it, Ivan, you should have just grabbed yourself. You should have been just strong. Just beat yourself up there, right?"
I don't understand.
Damn, I should have been like, "God damn, bro, do you remember the Trail of Tears?"
Yeah.
It wasn't the tears of joy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I didn't know the culture of Fox. Honestly, man. When the Obama election took place, that's when I really saw the biasness of Fox. But when the whole Megyn Kelly thing took place, and I listened to her podcast now that she doesn't work there no more. She still have good stuff to say about the place. But I listen to all these people from Fox to kind of get the culture, because it's hard for me to watch the station because of how they are, man. I'm like, come on, man. This is blatant racism almost. They might as well call it racist TV.
I was called a beaner in a suit. I was called, I literally posted more than 500 death threats. And it was like, literally, I get up, man. I go to my phone, dude. and it's already like more than 200 LinkedIn, Facebook, personal text messages just blown up, dude. My girlfriend at the time, another girl, she got a bunch of freaking aborted babies pictures on her phone.
Oh
Talking
wow.
about like your future husband or your husband.
Wow, bro.
Like,
It's
hey,
heavy.
these
It's
are gonna
heavy.
be some babies, man. It was bad, bro. My dad got a letter in his at his house saying that if you don't shut your beaner kid up, that they're just gonna take me up, man. I put my family through some stressful situations, dude. But
Wow.
hey, man, we're in the best country in the freaking.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Question for
Have to
you.
make it for us.
Question for you, Ivan. Will you run again?
Man, look, dude, I'm running to lose weight right now, bro. My buttons are about to pop. I'm running to lose weight. No, but in all seriousness,
He said I'm running to lose weight.
epiphany hit me is that wouldn't it be so amazing to do the job and not worry about the money aspect?
Yes.
That's why I became a businessman.
Right.
I work for one of the biggest hard money lenders in the state of Texas.
Right.
Last week, it wasn't one of my deals, but my principal closed a $40 million recapitalization on like a $100 million building for recap that building. We're doing, I mean, anything that has to do with commercial. Man, these numbers are crazy. So for commercial, let me empower your community real quick.
Yes, sir.
Stack them in SBA, that's government. There's conventional competitive rate financing, which is Chase, Wells Fargo, all those. And then there's hard money. Hard money is like investor money. It's not stupid money, and you'll see. So there's this thing called a 70% ARV type of rehab hard money loan, which, check this out real quick. It won't take that much time.
Go for it. You open.
Let's
You
say-
free to do.
And
what you do.
I'll go over one of my projects right now that I can't believe that that this happened. So let's say you're buying $100,000 home. You're going to do a rehab project, right? So the purchase price is $100,000, right?
Right.
You figure out that the rehab budget is $50,000 to fix that ugly $100,000 home, right? So that's $150,000 loan request, right? Let's say after you put the $50,000 on the home, that it's after repair value, or ARV, is $215,000.
Okay.
Like 70% of the ARV, it could be 100% financed. For example, so 70% of $215,000 is $150,000, $500. Because it's above the loan request, it's 100% financed.
I got you.
So literally, I come with $5,000 of closing costs. 6 months later, I have a loan request of 150. Remember, I only pay closing costs. I'm not paying for anything else. And I sell it for 215,000. Everything in between, bro, is profit.
I got you. I got you. So you
talking about the richer get richer, bro. I mean,
so now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is that residential or commercial?
That's both.
Oh wow, don't tell me that, bro.
Dude, I mean, like I'm doing 3 homes right now, and 11 deal with in the commercial, as in myself investing. And this was on market, bro. It was on HAR. I literally picked up my app. I was like, it was an 8-unit back then. 8-unit apartment complex. I was like 320,000.
Now I seen that. I seen that when you posted that. You see, you showed the construction of the apartment complex. I seen that on social site
right now.
Yeah.
So for that project, it was $250,000 to buy the 8-unit apartment complex. I applied for another $260,000 to put in the units and convert them into 11-unit. So that's $500,000 I borrowed with $600. How? Ask me how. Realtor, you got to know your realtor. You got to ask the seller for a contribution. I borrowed $500,000 with $600. So
now
guess
listen,
what?
Holla-tics, if y'all watching him, I want you to find Ivan on Facebook and charge him up because he's not just. I don't have a tele salesman here. What they call the dudes that be on TV selling, telemarketer. He's telling you the truth. I know this guy. I stand by him, man. Ivan, you got a comment right here. Seven Grogan say, Ivan, what do you think the best way to celebrate black and brown people would be instead of ignorantly pretending race doesn't exist and idiots who say they don't see color? Again, I'm gonna read that again for you, Ivan. He say, Ivan, what do you think the best way to celebrate black and brown people would be instead of ignorantly pretending race doesn't exist and idiots who say color doesn't matter? That is Hollatics 7 Grogan again.
I think it's embracing the differences, right? We were taught in high school to tolerate. What the hell is tolerate?
Right.
Hey, Raz, right. I tolerate you. I can barely stand you in this damn room, but that's tolerate.
Right.
I get you. Generation that's accepting. Now, hate is taught. You're never just born with it. Now, our country's going forward, even though we just elected, prior 4 years, we had Donald Trump. I think a lot of the closet racists came out, but I think we're still headed towards a place of a better place. So the question was, how do black and brown folks come together more? Well, the old school politicians in Houston, man, since I've been in those circles, there is just so much politics and personal things in their shoulders. There's just so much drama, dude, in which I was just a young bug, dude. Bro, I worked for Sheila Jackson Lee and Jolanda Jones for about 7 years in total. I'm an adopted black baby.
That's right. That's right.
Mega churches. I've never, and by the way, shout out to the Muslim community and the black community during my run. Bad for me, dude. Unfortunately, still we don't vote. It's a long story. I wrote a 36-page paper on that. But I think is the older generation still has that, what I talked about, those the past that still holds them back. But I think it's generational changes most of all, and not evading, not avoiding each other. Not
right.
Shit. How many black folk don't like some tacos?
Right.
Or some food, some oxtails. I ate some oxtails this weekend at This Is It in Third Ward.
Come on,
I learned
it don't get no better than that. I'm 100% with you. I don't think it's no such thing.
Learn culture. I integrated myself, and just to hear other people, like when I'm with a white dude and he's talking about bad about black, or when I'm with a Hispanic and they're talking about black, or when I'm with a black and they're talking about bad or about white or black, it's just like, man, it's just pure goddamn ignorance.
I get you, brother.
And I remember we were trying to do a black and brown coalition back in the day in college. The old boys in Washington right now, he's gonna be right-hand man of Joe Biden. So if you think I'm small tokens comparing to Kamayu Marshall, by the way, shout out to Kamayu. But I think it's integrating and talking about the issues. Now, just because one instance happened to you and that person was one color, do not put the whole damn fucking community, sorry for my language, in one box.
I get you, brother.
Or the SS were talking bad about Third Ward. Or the whatever was talking bad about.
I talk about this all the time. We call it in the black community, we call it they. And black people love saying, man, they don't want to see you come up. And I'm like, who is they? Who is they? Cause I know Ivans, I know Seven Grogans, who's a white guy. I know Ivans, who is Colombian. I know Hispanics. I know all. So when people, when my culture or black people say, they this and they that, I'm like, who is they? You got to tell me who the heck they is, because I don't see color. I walk into a place. I mean, again, before Ivan was me and Ivan clicked up before he was with Sheila and Jolanda
Yeah, right
Jones. So
before.
he been my brother before that. So I didn't need somebody to come and say, you know, Ivan is okay. He's not president. I knew that about him. I seen it. I sensed it. I walked with the guy. So, you know, I don't know who they is. I just know people, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's just it's been very interesting. Like, you know, I was privileged in the sense to have a family that will back me up in the sense of I'll never be homeless. That's all I needed. That's all my security I needed. But I double triple down on this thing, and literally the experience made me socially rich. Which your network equals your net worth, right? I jumped from politics all of a sudden to commercial lending. And what do you need? Like they say at my place, the hardest thing is getting the deal. And it's so funny that how my life has worked is crazy, and it's just like I'm going full steam ahead because I made all these connections. Every single damn judge in Houston knows me. Or I know them both ways, right? And everybody. And now that I'm doing commercial lending, as you see in my pages, I promote all this, whatever you need, from $250,000 to $40 million and above, right? But now I'm getting deals. I'm closing hopefully in February of next year. I'm closing a $6 million spa that was given to me by a judge. Nothing corrupt. He was just like, "Hey, buddy, I saw your thing. Just talk to this person. He told me about his spa, and go ahead and take care of him. He don't want nothing." It was just like,
It's happening to the right guy, man. I gotta cover something. What you said.
hopefully, I answered your friend's question because I was.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. 777 say I prefer the term peach or very light brown, not white. That's 7, man. I gotta cover something because I know you remember Chris Lane, right? Chris is he ran for city council in Lamar in Texas City. He won twice. Me and him talk about you all the time because I kind of helped him with his campaign. But Chris was running on a Republican ticket. And he got his highs up to I think Greg Abbott hired Chris to join his campaign. But once he got him to the governor's mansion, he stuck him on the phone and say, "Go get me some votes." And so it didn't turn out well for Chris, man. But I told Chris this, which is something you are proving that I didn't know I was giving him advice for. I say, Chris, you cannot be a Republican and be broke. You got to have some business, man. You got to have some business. You can get away with being a Dem. You know what I'm saying? You could be a community activist Democrat, but if you're a Republican, you better get you some business experience behind you.
Yeah.
And I see you doing that, man. So I did want to touch on that, man. Who influenced you, or did you ever get that advice, or did you just come about that just by saying, you know what, man, since I got, beat in this last congressional race, let me go get me some business networks or some business connections. How did you wind up where you are right now, losing a race?
Well, I right before or when I was a freshman at UHD, I was actually doing mortgages, and I left everything basically to go to a student government association and run for Senate, and then for president, and then went to Congress, ran for Congress, and then started a couple of businesses. But then after Congress, man, I remember going into a debate, and I was UHD proud. What's up? I was going up against a Harvard lawyer, a Goldman Sachs golden boy, MD cancer center doctor, a national activist, some dude that will not stop door knocking like 2,000 doors a day, and some guy that's ran in the same district 3 times.
Yeah.
But I would say, look, I got my own nonprofit, Houston Millionaires. We have 4,000 members. I worked in Congress for 6 years. I'm the youngest member in the mayor's advisory board. I have 15,000 hours, volunteer hours. I'm a political scientist. I have an honorary degree by the International Department of Education. I'm a graduate of 6 leadership institutes. And then they would say, yeah, but he has no business experience.
Right.
And they would just be like, yeah, no, it's like they would just write me off as quickly. And I was just like, damn, man, I've done everything.
Right.
But then after I lost, I realized that it was very sad, man. In three months, I'm very proud, and people were talking so much shit about me because I didn't hit the numbers that they did. I
Yeah.
raised about $120,000 in 3 months.
Yeah.
But then I was heartbroken, bro, because I went to a person's house, a Latino or Republican Latino, when I was running because he said he could help, and he basically offered me $200,000 to do dirty shit and drop a lot of my clean energy policy and do this and do that and
Wow.
literally
Wow.
extort my own family. Dude, nobody knows this, bro, but I remember leaving leaving the house, and I fucking, like, I didn't cry, but I was just tearing, just like, how am I supposed to do this?
Right.
How am I? And then bigger companies come up to me dropping out, because I was, again, I'm running in the richest district in the nation. That's River Oaks, Galleria, West U, the energy corridor,
Right.
all of that, right? So we have the energy corridor, and I was talking about, let's modernize the energy corridor so we can be the center energy capital of the world. Let's put millions of solar panels everywhere. The streets there freaking spin.
You was too fast for him. You was too quick for him. It wasn't ready for that, man.
But it's so awesome. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you with a lot of passion. This one thing, and it's so hard to see what your influence is doing. But I remember at a race debate, one of the funniest things. I hope I have that clip at a rice debate, bro. They were like, "What about marijuana?" And everybody saw, all the candidates are like, and I'm like, right? And they're like, they go down the line and like, no. And then the national activists at the time, which was the most progressive, like myself, was like, deregulate. And then no. And then you come to the only minority, I was like, full legalization. And I was like, yeah. Like, wait, it's not just because I want to smoke weed or anything like that. It's not because of that. It's because black and brown kids are being locked up. Black and white kids smoke the same doobies and the same whatever, the same shit at the same proportion. But when you look at jails, there's some fat banker in Wall Street making money off the most precious thing that the United States holds, which is liberty, freedom, and justice.
Right.
So it's just pisses me off. I mean, whatever. So it's just like the next debate after that, they asked us about weed. And it was just funny to say, deregulate. Yes, deregulate. And I'm like,
I'm not shocked, bro. I'm not shocked because that is most politicians, and not Hollatics. Don't get it confused, because we're Hollatics. But I'm talking about most politicians. They are out of touch. They are out of touch. It's very rare you're gonna meet Ivan Sanchez. I mean, this is this dude right here. He ain't doing this. I mean, this is my guy. If you meet him on the street, this is how he is, and I don't see that amongst politicians. They seem to be out of touch with people. So what you displayed when you debated was people want the legalization of marijuana. It's but I think at the same time, you know, old heads and people who don't know what's gonna happen. But I think, you know, Colorado is showing us a clear example. We're gonna make a bunch of money and we're gonna get a bunch of people out of jail who don't belong in there anyway, right?
I just came back from Colorado too, man.
how is it down there? How's the atmosphere, bro?
It's amazing, dude. It's a different state. As like we're Texas, right? We're proud.
I hadn't been since the legalization of marijuana. I hadn't been since then.
No, it's pretty good. You just walk in and it's like candy, bro. You're like, whoa.
Yeah,
can I say here? What can I not say here?
Yeah.
And it's coming from Texas. It's coming to Texas here pretty soon. Actually, like 6 years ago, we tried marijuana legalization. A Republican actually filed a bill, and their argument was that the Bible says that anything that's
but that's alcohol though, right? That's alcohol too, though, right? So you can't. That's a weak argument, bro.
Well, I mean, that's the argument they tried back in the day, and it didn't happen. But I'm surprised that it was by a Republican. But I think there's about 3 or 4 bills that are being filed for this upcoming session. I'm not in politics anymore like I used to, but I still hear things, and we'll see what happens. I think Texas, being a badass red, I mean, well, not that it's badass because it's red, but a badass business-driven state, I think if we could make this happen, dude. I mean, who the heck we want to go to Colorado when you got Texas?
Right.
Bigger in Texas.
You absolutely right, bro. We at the end of the show, Ivan. Of course, bro. We gonna hook them up, man. If you need to find Ivan Sanchez, if you're in Houston, you want to join the Houston Millennials, please find Ivan. If you're in Houston and you want to know how do you take advantage of some of these commercial and residential loans, please find Ivan Sanchez. If you type in Ivan Sanchez Houston on Facebook, he gonna be the first face pop up. If you're driving down 610 and you look to the side, you say, hey man, this dude look familiar. That is Ivan Sanchez. Great guy, unless you seen him running out of your backyard from sleeping with your wife or something. He don't do that type of stuff. He just looked like that type of guy. But listen, hey, we are happy to have Ivan Sanchez here on the show, man. This will not be your last time. Hollatics, man. Y'all continue to talk about the conversation. You can watch this. This is Facebook Live, YouTube Live. You can go back and watch the interview. Y'all have conversations. I weigh in even after the recordings of these. Want to thank you, Ivan, for being here, man. We at the end of the hour. We're gonna close it. Any closing words you got for the people, Ivan?
I say I'm gonna close out with it's cliche to say the time is now, but like I just want to reiterate to everybody that's watching right now that the biggest transfer of power and money is happening right now. Right now. I don't know what happened in Generation X. They're badass people, but they're blending into millennials and the older generation. But when we're talking about money, when we're talking about power, imagine like Lina Hidalgo, a 27-year-old Colombian immigrant, became the governor/mayor of Harris County. She became county judge,
Right.
which has a budget of $4 billion. She's literally 4 times bigger than Mayor Sylvester Turner. She's 27 years old. She just graduated and she put her hat in the race, just like I did, at the same time, the same year, and everything. So if you're interested in running, hit me up. If you're interested in investing in real estate, hit me up too. How about that?
I might need to run for office. Can I get you to back me, man, if I run?
Dude, let's break down the district. Let's study them. Literally, out of 200,000 people, like in any state representative, right? There's only 2,000 people that actually vote there.
You think I can move Sheila Jackson Lee, man?
Man, come on.
Would you help me? Would you help me? Would you help me dethrone the queen? Let me ask you that, bro.
I don't think she can be dethroned, though, man. You know why? The thing is that she works her district like nobody else.
I know. My mother stays in her district, bro. So I'm not an enemy. I'm just saying I think I could dethrone the queen, but I won't get you into that, man. Look, Hollatics, we gonna get out of here, man. Hey, Ivan, I'm gonna hit you up, man. We're gonna do some talking, meeting, brother. I want to take you to lunch, bro. We get more deep into this. For those of you who are hanging in late, what's up? Victor Moore say this is very interesting. Yes, tonight we had Ivan Sanchez, man, good friend of mine, ex-congressional candidate. He didn't win his race, but a lot of candidates don't. So he's not out of politics, but now he's pursuing business. He's also the founder of Houston Millennial. Hey, Ivan, appreciate you here, man. We're gonna close out the broadcast like this. Hollatics, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, man. We will see you guys tomorrow, man.
Happy birthday, Ross!
I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Catch you later, Ivan.
I'll see you at the top.
Yes, sir.